ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீ பகவத்கீதா 13th chapter, க்ஷேத்ர க்ஷேத்ரஜ்ஞ விபாகம். Gitacharya explains to Arjuna in this chapter the difference between kshetram and kshetrajna. Kshetram means matter, prakriti, body. Kshetrajna means Atma, who is residing in the body. In the beginning, Bhagavan first explained that he is going to talk about these two, and then he started explaining about Prakriti, Kshetram, and then he spoke about the qualities which are explained, which are required in the Jivatma for self-realization, and then he spoke about the qualities, the nature of Jivatma in detail. We have seen up to the 22nd shlokam where he explained all of these. Now he is moving on to 23rd shlokam where he starts explaining about how to rationally distinguish between Jivatma and Prakriti. This knowledge is very key. This is called as rational thinking, because we see in general people say we are rationalists, but they have no idea about Atma. But real rationalist is one who can distinguish between Jivatma and Paramatma. And Bhagavan goes on to explain how an Atma who has understood this difference between Jivatma and matter or Deham, Shariram, he will be qualified for liberation. So we are going to see the next section from 23rd shlokam where he explains these principles. Bhagavad Ramanuja has mercifully composed Gita Bhashyam in Sanskritam, which is a commentary for Sri Bhagavad Gita. Vedanta Acharya has explained the meanings of Bhagavad Gita in great detail in Sanskritam in his Tatparya Chandrika. With these two granthams, Puttur Sri Vivek Krishna Swami Iyengar has explained in great detail in Tamil explanations for all the shlokams in Bhagavad Gita. He has also given word by word meaning, which we have translated into English. With the help of this simple English translation, we are going through the meanings for Gita shlokams. Now let us continue on from the 23rd shlokam. Yayenam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunais saha sarvata vartamanopi nasabhuyo bijayate. So in this shlokam, Bhagavan is saying one who can distinguish between Atma and Achetanam, matter, in whichever condition he is in. He may be in a celestial body, he may be in a human body, whichever situation he is in, he will be liberated and he will not be born again. Let us see the word by word meanings. Yenam Purusham, this Jivatma who was explained previously, Prakritim cha, and the Prakriti and the matter, Gunaihi saha, with the qualities such as Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Yaveti, one who knows truly, saha, he, Sarvata Vartamanaha api, though bound in any body such as Deva body, Deva Shariram or Manushya body, human body, or Tiriyak or Stavara, depending on one's karma, one may be present in any body, irrespective of where he is. If the Atma gets this understanding, there is a difference between Jivatma and Achetanam, then na abhijayate, he will not be born again. So any Atma who has this clear understanding, because even in the beginning this was explained by Krishna in the second chapter. The difference between Deham and Atma was clearly explained, because it is very foundational, very fundamental. So irrespective of what situation one is in, if one has this clear understanding, difference between Deham and Atma, then one will be liberated, because one must develop attachment towards liberation, and one must give up any attachment towards this body. As long as there is attachment in this body, it is not possible to be liberated. So only when that clear knowledge that this, I am not this body, and I cannot live in this samsara anymore, when that understanding becomes clear in the Jivatma, then he will be qualified for liberation. So that is 23rd Shlokam. In the 24th and 25th Shlokam, Bhagavan explains the various stages which lead to ultimate self-realization. Let us see 24th Shlokam first. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechid atmanam atmana anye sankyena yogena karma yogena chapare. So Bhagavan is explaining step by step what are all the various stages, from the most advanced to least advanced stages in self-realization. So first he starts with those who are situated in yogam, those who are expert in yogam, that is, they have understood the process of yoga and they are practicing. Yoga means here Ashtanga yoga, and they have clear understanding of yamam, niyamam, pratyaharam, all of these. Kechit, some who are experts in yoga, atmani, dwelling in the body. So here Atma is used 3 times, but each Atma has different meaning. The first Atma, second Atma and third Atma, each of them have different meanings. First Atma means body, second Atma means the self, Jivatma, and third Atma means mind. Atmani, dwelling in the body, Atmanam, their Atma, Atmana, with their mind, Dhyanena, through Dhyana Yoga, Pashyanti, they are seeing, Anye, some others who are not experts in yoga, Sankyena Yogena, through Jnana Yoga, making their mind qualified for the Dhyanam, Dhyana Yoga, and seeing the Atma as explained previously. Aparecha, yet others, Karma Yogena, through Karma Yoga, which includes Jnana Yoga, making their mind qualified for Dhyana Yoga and seeing the Atma as explained previously. So here the most advanced person is one who have full knowledge about Dhyanam, how to do this yogam fully, and such person just by Dhyanam, that meditation, constantly will be seeing Atma, the self. But if one is not an expert, he is still in the learning stages, he can go through Jnana Yogam, make the mind more qualified for Dhyanam, and finally see Atma. Yet others who are not even in the platform of Jnana Yogam, they may be in the position of performing Karma Yogam. Through the Karma Yoga, where there is Yagam, Yagyam, all these rituals, all of these are to purify the mind, to bring Sattva Gunam in the self, and by doing all of this, one will come to the stage of Jnana Yoga and then finally attain full Dhyana and full self-realization. This Karma Yoga also includes Jnana Yoga. There is Angam. When Karma Yoga is performed, it has Jnana Yogam built in it. Similarly, when Jnana Yogam is performed, also Karma Yoga is present in it. There is interlinking. But still, step by step, when we see, first topmost advanced person is fully situated in Yogam. He is able to realize self through Dhyanam. The next level, the lower level, is Jnana Yogi, one who can train the mind to engage in Dhyanam, and ultimately see the self. And the third level is one who performs karma yogam, one who is a karma yogi who performs karma yogam and slowly attain the knowledge, perform jnana yogam, and then finally reach the stage of dhyanam. So that is 24th shlokam. 25th shlokam is continuation of the same. Anyetvam ajanantah shrutvanyebhya upasate tepi chati tarantyeva mrutyum shruti-parayanaha. Let us see the word by word meanings. Evam ajanantah, those who don't know the previously explained means to see Atma. So there are some who are curious to know about Atma, but they are not familiar with Karma Yogam or Jnana Yogam or full self-realization in the stage of Dhyanam. So for them, what they do is they go to others who are Jnanis. That is what is explained here. Anyetu, some others. Anyebhyaha, from Jnanis. So those others who don't have knowledge about Karma Yogam, Jnana Yogam and Dhyanam and so on, they go to Jnanis, those who are realized, those who are wise, and Shrutva, by hearing about Karma Yoga, etc., through their instructions. So they learn from already practicing persons, and Upasate, through those instructions they meditate upon Atma. Shruti-parayanaha te apicha, those who are engaged in hearing those instructions too, mrutyum, samsara, material realm, atitaranti eva, or shoot cross. So here Krishna is saying, even those who go to others, learn the process and then progress, even they are qualified to cross over the samsara. Mrityu means here not just death but samsara, the material realm. So those who can do dhyanam fully, they can see the self and of course the achetana entities through that dhyanam. Those who cannot perform dhyana and see that, they can engage in jnana yoga and rise up to dhyana. Those who cannot do jnana yoga, they can do karma yoga and then rise up to jnana yoga and then to dhyana. Even those who cannot do karma yoga, they can go to already practicing wise personalities, learn these and then slowly progress in the same way. And even such persons who have dedication to learn and practice it, even they are sure to cross this samsara. That is in this explained in this 25th shlokam. Let us see 26th shlokam. This shlokam brings out very important point. Whatever we see, we've often heard that whatever we see, whether it is table or chair or any entity, rock, stones, wooden piece, any entity, whether it is we see it having life or not, every entity has Atma in it. We have heard that in many places. Bhagavan is explaining it here in this shlokam. Usually it is explained that in Shastram, in Vedantam, any entity, any object we see, there is the external body and then there is Atma inside it and then there is Paramatma inside the Atma. This is the way Vedantam teaches us and this is the way those who know Vedanta will see any entity. Here Bhagavan is, because this section is about Kshetra and Kshetrajna, he is talking about the two entities only here. Let us see the shlokam. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam stavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyogat tadvidhi Bhartarshaba. So he tells Arjuna, O Bhartarshaba, you know, you learn from me here that anything which you see here in this world, there is an Atma in it and there is Achetanam, there is matter, body in it. So it's always a combination of both of them. Bhartarshaba, head of Bharata clan. So Arjuna is considered as the best among the Bharata clan Kinchit stavara jangamam, as an immovable entity such as plant or a movable entity such as an animal. Yavat sattvam sanjayate, how many ever entities are born. So any Atma may be born with any body. So any element, any entity we see in this world, tat, for all such entities, kshetra, kshetrajna, samyogat, they are created due to the combination of the two principles, namely kshetra, body, and kshetrajna, soul. Vidhi, you know this. You know this from me now. You learned this from me now. So Krishna is saying in this slokam that whatever entity we may see, whatever entity is born in this world, whether it is movable or immovable, we can see plants, we can see animals, we can see any entities, all of those, all such entities, whichever one has a form and name, you understand, you know that they are created due to the combination of the two principles, namely kshetra and kshetrajna, says Krishna in this shlokam. With this we will stop today and we will continue on in the next session. Alvar Emperumanar Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.